Yeah, thank you, viewers, and thank you, Richard.
Mike, can I ask a question?
Say your name and where you're calling from.
Sure, this is Scotty. I'm calling from Arizona. And I'd like to ask our guest, Jack, if she'd tell us a little bit about her book and what the whole thing's roughly about, kind of like a little summary or something, maybe.
Did you hear that, Jack?
I heard the first part. Tell about the book.
Ask about your book and what the kind of like the summary of the book is about.
Okay. For a long time, I worked, I suppose, showing people, running courses, running retreats. That teacher identification was running at the time, and I ran courses, I suppose, on how to observe, skills in how to observe the mind, how to go into the I am, to the observer capacity. So in collecting, I suppose, the examples of watching the tricks of mind, in collecting those notes were written. And in the meantime, a major stripping happened to this individual ego that was running at the time. And I ended up in India and ended up leaving the whole show, and, transformation took place and dualistic thought blew up, and the book kind of came back. In some way, it's just writing started to happen. And the notes that were used seemed to merge into the then pointing towards that which we are. At the time when there was those retreats being held, there was a knowing that none of this is real, that existence itself, like the fact of existing, nothing can exist, there is no thing. So all of that was very clearly known to be an illusion, but I didn't know what to do with it. There was no sense of language, because the concept and the intellectual knowledge hadn't landed at all, but everything had blown up. And so, floundering along, knowing that none of this is real at all. What I am is like resting asleep under all of this. Just a watching is happening from here. I had no language. I didn't know anything about Advaita. There was no leads, and that continued for some years. When I went to India, I found the word. I said, "Oh my God, people can point to it. They can say, you can't say you are, what you are. You can say you are that, but you can't say I am something, because if you start a sentence with I am, then identification is running again, and well, that's mind again. So in going to India, it was clear what that language can be used to point. And so that became the second half of the book. It went from a feeling of what I was talking about to actually being able to use language for it. So it actually spelled from, I suppose, pre the circuits blowing up to post the circuits blowing up. And somehow it just merged. So it's a short book. It's like 120 pages. And it's, every sentence is like, mind does this, and mind does this, and watch this, and it plays like this. So that, people who've read drafts at various points say that it's just like, oh my God, oh, my brain is frying, oh. And everywhere the shutters come down. It's like there was no escape. There is no escape. Ego was just getting fried at every corner, every place it turned. So it's a book to scribble and highlight and use in that way. So it
that's
starts
the
with a very
part of you.
I guess so. Yeah, there tends to be a sword that comes out every now and then. That can be pretty rough for people. Whoa. There have been satsang rooms that have been, I don't know, covered in blood, I suppose I could say. Some people here sitting beside me laughing, knowing exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, sometimes it moves like that, there's an intensity in this form, and sometimes it's like, cut, you are not this, you are not this, you are not this. And the book is delivered in that way. So it goes from like, what did it take for you to be happy? And then to You are all of this. You are beyond what is free and what is not free, and you are beyond, you were never born and you can never die. And every step in between is marked. Every single step from the beginner right through. And people tend to be able to read as much as, whoa, it's too much, it's too much. And then they can go back to it and say, oh, I'm hearing this in a completely different way. So it tends to be a kind of book that you leave on your bedside locker and revisit.
As it goes.
That's what people say. Yeah.
How's that, Scotty? Are you getting a good image of what the book's about?
I sure